want to share something with you about purpose. First of all, I want to say thank you. I don't even know who's on here. It could be 0 people. It could be, I don't know how many. But anyway, if you're still here, I appreciate you. Thank you very, very much for spending some time in the Lord, listening to some music. Hopefully everybody was in one mind and one accord. Purpose. Purpose. Let me share a story with you. So I was 6 years old, and I was hit by a car when I was younger. So let me back up a little bit. I don't remember the day at all. Everything I know, most of it, 98% of it I know from what my mom and my dad have told me. But I do remember some bits and pieces, which is really weird how that works. So I remember my mom saying that I couldn't go across the street. I'm 6. But there were 2 teenage friends of mine, 12, 13, 14-ish or whatever, that was watching me while my mom was inside. You know, it was back in olden days when you could leave your door open and unlocked and not worry about somebody coming in and stealing stuff. So, of course, I didn't listen to my mom, and I went across the street, and we were playing in the creek. And all I remember, I do remember this vaguely, is that I did look both ways. But as I was crossing the street, apparently what they said is a car was going by this way. I was looking to the right, but this car was blinding the car that was coming this way, and it was speeding. I don't know how I didn't see it, but I didn't, and I crossed the street and it hit me. So my mom was doing dishes or whatever, and again, the teenagers were watching me. They didn't watch me very well. She said, this is what she told me, that she's seen somebody get hit by a car. They flew up in the air like 10 feet and splatted in the middle of the road. That was me. Splatted in the middle of the road. It gets even crazier. So the ambulance came. My mom called my dad. My dad came from work. My mom was there. Of course, they're tending to me, and they're putting me in the ambulance. And my mom wants to ride in the ambulance, but they won't let her. And so years and years and years and years go by. And I'm in the military, and I come home for a visit. And somehow me and my mom, I needed my medical records. And there was something written in my medical records, and I didn't know what that meant. And at the time, my mom didn't even know why they wouldn't let her ride in the ambulance. But apparently what had happened is my heart had stopped beating not once but twice. So they didn't want her to ride in the ambulance because they wanted to make sure that there was no distractions and they could just tend to me. I didn't find that out until a long time afterwards. So it gets even crazier. So my mom and dad get to the hospital way before the ambulance. The ambulance is not there yet. So I think it was like an hour or so. Again, I only recollect what I've been told because I don't remember. That day has been wiped away. But apparently what had happened is that the ambulance wouldn't start, and it actually broke down. So not only did my heart stop beating twice, the ambulance broke down on the way to the hospital. So they have to put me in a medically induced coma, which I was in for 7 days. What's the point of the story? I could have easily died. I could have died at 6 years old. But I'm 48 years old now, and here is my thing to you. If you're alive and you're breathing, that is because there is a purpose for you. That purpose is nothing but a godly purpose for your life. Purpose without God in it is not purpose at all. The only reason we have breath is for His purpose. A lot of us are walking around, even believers, a lot of us are walking around and we have no clue what our purpose is in life whatsoever. So I'm encouraging you. Do this little exercise with me right now. I know this sounds corny, but hear what I'm saying. A lot of people sit in pews or sit in benches or chairs at church service every week, and they don't even realize that there's a purpose for their life. I can tell you what your purpose is not. It's not just to stay sitting in a chair. God wants you to share stuff. He wants you to do stuff. He has a purpose for your life. There is hope for you, and it's found in Jesus. Jesus died for you. He paid the price for you, and he loves you. So I want you to look wherever you're at. And again, I don't even know if people's on here or not, but you might hear it later. Wherever you're at, whatever room you're in, I want you to look around. There's not one thing that you see that does not serve some type of purpose. Just look around for a second. Every single thing that you see has a purpose. So if that physical object has a purpose, don't you think a living soul has some type of purpose? Let me tell you what a purpose is not. A purpose is not doing whatever you want to do, partying it up every weekend. I've done all that. That's not purpose. People are like, well, you're going to die eventually, and, living this life happy and fun. I am a believer, and I have so much fun in my life, and I don't do all that other stuff. I'm not judging anybody that does any of that stuff, because I was there. When I went through the issues that I went through, I went back there. Went back to all that garbage, and it did absolutely nothing for me. It wasn't until I gave my life back over to Christ and started following his ways and walking in his will. And I'm still trying to figure out life. So I ask you tonight, take some time, talk to God, and ask him, what is your purpose? He knows every number of hair that's on your head. And if you don't have any, he knew that you wasn't going to have any. My point is, he knew you before you were in your mother's womb. He has a plan for you. Before the foundations of the world, he knew you. He has something for you to do. He has something that he wants to do in you. Now, for the people that don't even have a clue who he is 100% real. And I will apologize to you because we haven't done a good enough job showing you that he is real. Because a lot of believers look exactly like everybody else, and there's no difference between the two. Why would anybody want to come to Jesus when we look exactly like them? Not saying that all they do is bad, so that kind of sounded bad. But what I'm saying is there's a change. There's something different in your life that happens when you accept Jesus. You have standards. You have orders. You have things that that put you in this straight and narrow path that people think is boring, but it's not. I have so much freedom in my life. I have so much fun in my life. And I don't drink. I don't smoke. And I did all that stuff. I have so much fun. I was at some function for work, and somebody afterwards was like, you didn't drink anything. And I was like, no, I don't drink. And they go, man, you have so much fun and you don't drink. I was like, yeah, the cool thing about me is I wake up, I don't have a hangover. I did all that. I'm not judging anybody that drinks. You got stages. But I'm telling you right now, get alone, away from everything, and just spend some time. Look up into the heavens and say, God, are you real? Because I can tell you he's real. He's done some things in my life. I went through some things in my life that once I realized that I needed him again, I wouldn't have been able to get through it. The reason why I had to reach back out to him is because I was trying to do things on my own because I was upset about my situation. And I was miserable. So I'm asking you tonight. I'm going to pray before I get off here. I'm asking you tonight. Ask God, what is your purpose? Think about it. Have we ever did the Groundhog Day effect? If anybody has seen that movie, it's like you get up, alarm clock goes off, you brush your teeth, you shower, you get ready for work, you go to work, you come back home, take care of the kids, you go to sleep, you get up in the morning, you go brush your teeth, take a shower, go to work. Life is more than just that. Life is more than going to find out what kind of car you want to buy, what kind of house you want to buy. Life is more than that. Think about others. But before you can think about others, you have to get your life squared away.